Hello, my name is Sarah Snyder, and for my Genetics and Evolution in the News project, I am going to be presenting an article about the first human immune system to beat HIV alone. And this article was published in Science News in August of 2020, and it reports on the first person to beat HIV with solely their immune system and without any sort of help from an antiretroviral drug. So before diving into the article, I'm going to give a little bit of background on HIV. HIV is also known as human immunodeficiency virus, and this virus can be transmitted through blood, semen, vaginal fluids, and even through pregnancy. The virus attacks the killer T cells of the immune system, also known as CD4 T cells, which weakens the body's ability to fight off disease and infection. After an individual is infected with HIV, the body has some symptoms, but then after will remain asymptomatic until the individual progresses to AIDS or acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. This stage occurs when the HIV infected individual's immune system has been so badly damaged that opportunistic diseases appear severely and frequently. Opportunistic diseases are illnesses such as pneumonia or tuberculosis that are much more severe in someone with AIDS than someone without. Once you are infected with HIV, you have it for life. There's no cure for HIV/AIDS because HIV is a reservoir virus. This means that the HIV virus will lay dormant in the cells of the immune system and cannot be reached by antiretroviral drugs. Those with HIV that can afford treatment must take several types of ARTs or antiretrovirals in order to combat the high mutation rate of the virus, which is approximately 4.1 times 10 to the negative third mutations per base per cell. Taking ARTs does not eradicate the virus from the body, since, as discussed before, it is a reservoir virus. ARTs will only keep the viral load of HIV low in the body and prevent the virus from transmitting. Those that take ARTs can live a relatively normal lifestyle and expect to live a full lifespan. However, they must take ARTs for the rest of their life because the body will always have dormant viruses in their immune cells that can become active at any time. Here we have the graph of CD4 T cell count on the left and in red, and viral load on the right and in blue. Initially, the viral load of HIV peaks and then drops to a lower level where most of the viruses lay dormant, and this stage can last for several years or up to a decade. The viral load then slowly rises to where the individual progresses to the AIDS stage, and here the CD4 count drops, and then individuals are no longer able to fight off opportunistic diseases. Then the CD4 count drops to 0 where the individual dies. Those who are not treated for HIV are expected to live around 3 years. The article published by Science News in August of 2020 is titled, "In a First, a Person's Immune System Fought HIV and Won." A patient with the pseudonym EC2 was analyzed for more than 1.5 billion cells and showed no functional HIV copies. EC2 is an individual known as an elite controller, which makes up only 0.5% of those infected with HIV. Elite controllers can maintain extremely low levels of virus in the long term without the help of any antiretroviral drugs. Virologists think that elite controllers have genetic variants in key immune system genes that contribute to their ability to almost beat the virus and keep it at low levels. EC2, however, is the first known patient to completely eradicate the virus from all of their cells with solely their immune system. It was originally thought that perhaps all elite controllers contracted, quote, weak HIV viruses. However, this was studied and was proven to be false. Other researchers wondered if perhaps elite controllers had defective reverse transcriptase, which is the enzyme that HIV uses to replicate itself in the immune system cells. This was also proven to be false. Instead, the HIV and elite controllers land in gene-poor parts of the human host cell, which makes it much harder to replicate new HIV. And those HIV cells that did land in the correct area of the host cell were wrapped in heterochromatin, making it impossible to turn the HIV genes on to be replicated. How or why this happens to such few percentage of people is still unknown, but researchers hope that by studying elite controllers, we can potentially fine-tune the mechanism to create a cure for HIV/AIDS in the future. This is my Works Cited page, and thank you for listening.